Hello everyone, I am Erika of beadingschool.com and you are watching No One Has to Bead Alone. Unfortunately, in a little bit different format, as about 5 minutes before our meeting today, I have discovered that one of my cameras is not working. So these past 5 minutes were spent with lots of improvisations and readjustments, and I hope that you can at least hear me and you see my bead mat. Please let me know. You can watch today's video. It is a live premiere of a little adjustment, as up until now I was always teaching live only on Facebook. However, today I am trying how does it work if we meet on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time. We have beaders who would love to join us and bead together in real life, real time. However, they can't join through Facebook, but can watch from YouTube. So that's why I am trying to make it work through YouTube and through Facebook too. And I see Zuzka and Carol and Kata and Lutka and Lita and Joyce and Elena and Ginny, Corey, Nancy, Sarah, Linda. And Lita says she can see my bead mat. Zuzka says she can hear me and see me. Wonderful. So yeah, today it's only my bead mat. But I hope that this will still be okay, as that's the important part anyway. We also have Erica, Donna, Dawn, Marta, another Nancy, Antoinette, Belinda, joining us. Nancy's asking if she should try YouTube. Dear Nancy, if you would be so good to pop over there and just check if the quality is okay, that would be super nice. Thank you so much for your kindness. Donna, Bonnie, Catherine, Sangita, Shelly, Irina, hello ladies. So today we are going to bead the Cereus earrings, another piece from the Jardin Majorelle collection. The collection is inspired by a beautiful garden in Marrakesh, Morocco, designed by Jacques Majorelle. And it is a place which used to be like the oasis where Yves Saint Laurent, the famous fashion guru, would retreat to recharge his creative energies together with his partner Pierre. And the villa and the park around it, Jardin Majorelle, they are all in these vibrant colors of this avocado green and a very special blue, a bit of yellow, a bit of orange, and those are the shades that we are going to work with during the upcoming time. We have already done, or I published this week the tutorial, the first signature jewel for the collection, a set of bracelet and pendant, or you can make it into an earring also, it's up to you. And now we can bead the next one. And Nancy and someone, a friend, is watching from, oh, hi Marta, watching from YouTube. So it seems that it's working. That's wonderful, wonderful news. So more beaders can join us. Also, Yosin is here and Sunshine is here. And Sunshine is excited to make this one. And I think that this is one of those designs which are small in size and you don't even need many bead types for it. However, there are so many different opportunities to make it your own. So I have half of my earring ready. I definitely want to finish my pair, even if I'm guilty of sometimes wearing only one earring. And I also started to bead another motif because I was I wanted to make sure that I draw for you the best possible thread passes. And oh my god, it's funny actually. I forgot about it in the meanwhile that when I was beading this, then I accidentally attached one rhinestone on one side and the other motif has the rhinestone on the other side. But I think I will just correct it by adding one more rhinestone. I'm definitely not picking this out. And I will make probably a matching brooch, so it will be a 3-piece set. However, while I pulled this out, I wanted to show you that you can easily join to each other sequences, like sequences of 2, maybe with like a cabochon in between, or you can join directly the squares to each other, and you can even bead a matching bracelet. Or if you like statement jewelry like I do, then you can double the rows and you can bead a multi-row bracelet too. If you join 2 rows, then there will be a gap in between and you can easily fill it, for example, with, if I look at the size quickly, with a 6mm Suwon rhinestone. I think that would look amazing in the middle. And Nancy says she bought already a few tops and shirts in this color so she can show her sets better. And that's so cute. And I'm actually super happy that these energetic colors, they got close to your heart. And Samia is here also watching from YouTube today. And Linda has a good idea. She says that if we made a square, then that would be a pretty pendant too. And of course, in that case, you could attach a spike drop, for example, here, or any kind of drop that you like. And hi, Cindy. And Erica says she did not receive her box yet, so she's going to use blues and purples. And I think even if you don't have your box yet, then this is such a great stash buster project for fire polished beads because you actually don't need much. Let's look into it. That what do you need? They are really, really just some basic beads, but I'm pretty sure that you have in your stash in multiple colors. So if we start from the middle, okay, there is something that is a little bit more special, a 2.8mm Preciosa Suwon rhinestone. It is actually a flat back rhinestone set into a little metal claw with 2 holes running in a cross shape. We have them available. It is the same that I showed you, that it is possible to fill the gap with them. So we have them available in 2.8, 4, and the 6mm size. However, please don't panic if you don't have these, because you can simply put here a bigger sparkly bead and your jewel will be just as beautiful. Robin is just asking exactly that. Oh my god, I answered your question even before I could read that. So yeah, you can totally substitute this one. Or if you have a 4mm rhinestone, then you can use less of the seed beads and that's okay too. Or an 8mm rhinestone, it doesn't matter. The rhinestone is laying in the middle of a square made of 4mm fire polished beads. And then the avocado green ones, they are 3mm fire polished beads. And to finish off the little squares, I used 6mm Miyuki Slender Bugle beads and 4mm Preciosa bicone beads. From the seed beads, you will need Miyuki Delica size 11s. I use this vibrant blue, which I tried to match the Majorelle blue that I mentioned to you. And there is also one color of size 15s and one color of size 11s. And the rest, it's completely up to you. The findings depend on what would you like to make: an earring, a pendant, a bracelet. You can make also a bracelet by beading elements of 2 squares and then putting some sparkly crystal connectors in between, for example. Or if you are beading a pendant on an earring, then you can add a glass drop or whatever you like, whatever fits your style. So, lovelies, do you have a question about the material that we are going to use? Lita says, in the meanwhile, I reached into my stash and found my own version of Jardin Majorelle colors, including what my mother would call baby shit green. Yeah, I think that is the green that's on my bead mat too. We call it sometimes chicken shit green. Ula said she did not decide yet on the colors. Louise's box is on its way. Facebook user friend says, I am in love with this blue and yellowish green mix. I'm so happy that you like it. And hi, Teresa. And ladies, if I haven't said your name, then it means that I don't see your name. My broadcasting program needs additional permission in case that you are watching from the Facebook club. So that makes it more personal, because then I can say, hi, Malia, so good to see you. But also it makes it a lot easier if you ask a question and then I can answer you directly. But it's up to you, of course. And Terry is here. Hello, everyone. So, lovelies, if you don't have any more questions about the material, then let's start beading. So, in the meanwhile, you can download the tutorial that you can print and save to your computer from noonehastobeadalone.com. And there are, as always, 2 options for you. And one option is to download the tutorial as a gift, and another option is to support the broadcast and buy it for €5. And let's get started. Eve is actually beading the first Jardin Majorelle jewel, or the second. What am I talking about? It's not the first, it's the third. Eve is using Dolce Vita colors for the Jardin Majorelle. So, Yosin is using pink. And yeah, let's get started. I will put on the side the my finished piece, but if you would like to see it again, then I'm more than happy to pull it out again. So I'm using my usual fireline and my size 11 beading needle. I start by picking up 4 pieces of 4mm fire polished beads. I let them fall to the very end of my fire line. I leave about 10-12 centimeters or 5-6 inches of a tail thread that I'm going to hold on to until I have a good grip, and then I will secure and trim it later. I beaded through all my fire polished beads one more time, and then I bead through the first one for a third time too. And Some of you are letting me know that there is some problem with the support version. And I'm, first of all, so thankful to you that you want to go for the support version. I mean, like the you support bidding school, because without you, we wouldn't be here. And thank you so much. And I actually know what's going on. There is a problem because it happened 2 weeks ago also. So now I am quickly mending it, and it should be okay now. And thank you so much, ladies, for letting me know. It should be okay. So in the meanwhile, I connected my 4 fire polished beads into a little square by beading through all of them one more time. And then if I am starting this way, then I like to bead through the very first one for a third time too. So I start my next step by with my thread, with the working end and the tail thread exiting from the same bead in different direction. And I am pulling actually on the tail thread, so that really helps me to keep good tension. Facebook user friend loves these blue fire polished beads. Powdery blue they are called, and indeed they are super nice. So let's see what's happening in step 2. In step 2, I am adding 4 pieces of size 11 round Miyuki seed beads. I pick them up one by one. So I pick one up and then I bead through the next fire polished bead. They will be on the corners. The fire polished beads are actually the sides of the little square, and the round 11s, they are the corners. So this is how I'm adding them, one by one. And Ludka says, my colors are in light blue, navy blue, Caribbean CAB. And that sounds fantastic, Ludka. It sounds like a holiday. Where would you like to go for a holiday? Maybe to the Caribbean Sea, wearing your Caribbean Sea beads on your ear? So I added all 4 round 11s, and then I continue beading until I am exiting the second bead that I added. I apologize that in today's video the beads are not as sharp as you are used to. Okay, last week there was a glitch, but normally they are sharp. Today I am using my weaker camera because the other one does not want to work. It says it's Friday afternoon, it's enough. So that's why I'm using this one today. So this is how it looks like anyway. This is how it looks like at the moment. And we will continue with step 3. In step 3, the chicken shit beads are coming. In this case, this is my favorite part because we are just making this motif super happy and fresh and prepared for springtime with this avocado green chicken shit beads. Erica says that she would like to visit me. Or do you say to me or to someone in a comment? Because that's possible. I don't see if you are replying to someone. If you want to come here, like Amsterdam is like amazing. I live here for like nearly 8 years. I wanted actually to move here only for a year, but then I fall in love with the city and it became my home away from my birth country. But anyway, back to beading. So exiting around 11, I pick up 3 pieces of fire polished beads from the 3mm version, and then I bead through the next round 11. So the 3mm fire polished beads, they make this nice little angle around the 4mm fire polished bead. And this is what I do all around. So I pick up 3 fire polished beads from the smaller ones, and then I bead through the next round 11. And indeed, Erica wants to come to Amsterdam. Amsterdam is amazing. It's like I feel so lucky because even after so much time, I still feel like this is one of the most beautiful places that I have ever seen, with the cute houses and the canals, of course, and the flowers in the spring. So, yeah, I can only recommend it. And Jackie joined us, and Mektap joined us. And this is how our little motif looks like at the moment. It became kind of a bigger square with the 4mm ones in the middle and the 3mm fire polished beads all around. And Cindy would also love to see Amsterdam. I think the travel bug is beating lots of us these days. And Faye says, I love how it looks like a little crocheted square. And I think you are so right. Like, I can totally imagine like several pieces joined to each other and then in different colors, and that would really make it look like crochet. And now we are going to add some sparkle to the middle. I'm exiting around 11 seed bead, and I pick up 2 pieces of the round 15s, my rhinestone, and then 2 more pieces of the round 15. I bead through the round 11. That is exactly opposite of the one that I am exiting. And when I pull my thread, then I see that this distance between them is covered completely by the beads that I have just picked up. So if you are using something else, not the 2.8 rhinestone, then this is your test. The distance should be covered completely. And when I made sure that it's all right, then I can bead back through the new beads, and then I bead through the round 11 that I was exiting at the beginning of this step. I bead through 3 pieces of the 3mm fire polished beads and the next round 11 Miyuki. So this is how it looks like at the moment. How is it going, ladies? Please let me know. Many of the beaders here are now watching and will bead later, and I actually so appreciate it that you hang out together with everyone here, even if, I don't know, you need to tend to some housework or cooking or whatever, but you are here. And thank you so much. That's like super special indeed. And Ginny and Kata say that all is good. Ginny actually says that it's great. So let's move forward. Now I will pick up 2 more pieces of my round 15s, and I bead through the second open hole of the rhinestone. You need to make sure that you bead through it in the right way, that the sparkly side will face the top, because yeah, this is when it gets fixed actually. And after beading through your rhinestone, you need to pick up 2 more of the round 15s, and again you bead through the round 11 that is exactly opposite of the one that you were exiting at the beginning of this step. You pull your thread and you bead back through the round 15s, rhinestone round 15s, and you finish this little step by beading one more time through the initial round 11. So this is how it looks like, and now in the middle of the little square we actually have a cross with a sparkly rhinestone in the middle. And Facebook user friend likes the idea to bead it as bracelets. She fall in love with these blue tones. Oh, looking forward to see your blue bracelet. And Donna, thank you so much for letting us know that how did your testing go. Donna tested it with some 4mm rhinestones, and she says that still she needed 2 pieces of the size 15s to look good. So ladies, if you are beading with a 4mm bead in the middle, then you can skip the experimenting and maybe going wrong part. Thank you, Donna, for your help, for letting us know that you still need 2 size 15s. And Joyce likes the idea of making different designs from the components. She says it's cute. Dawn is falling in love with the swan rhinestones. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family, Dawn. Ginny also feels a gorgeous bracelet coming about. So I think we will have lots and lots of beautiful jewels in the club over the weekend. So when you are ready with your little cross in the middle of this square, then let's see what's happening. And now we are adding the Miyuki Delica beads, always in between the 3mm fire polished. So I'm exiting around 11 now, and I bead through the first 3mm fire polished out of a group of 3. I pick up one Miyuki Delica, and I bead through the second fire polished bead in the group, the one in the middle. Then again, I pick up a Delica, and this time I bead through fire polished round 11 and one more fire polished. So I am not adding a Delica when I am next to a round 11, but I am always adding a Delica all around the motif when I am in between 2 fire polished beads. And Angelica is here, but she has some very important errands to run. She says her academy box arrived and she needs to pick it up. Oh, okay, that's a good enough reason to skip class. Lita is also making a bracelet. Robin is on the rhinestone part. Lovelies, if anyone else is trying something else than the 2.8 rhinestone that I am working with, if you figure out how to add something else, then please share your experience in a comment so we can all learn from it. And Terry says that the blue delicas are becoming my favorite color in the box. And I'm super happy about that, Terry. Ladies who were with us during the Starry Night team a year and a half ago in November, December, then you might remember a gorgeous Miyuki half tila. Later we got it also the color as Miyuki tila beads it was this dark velvety blue that was similar to this one, I would say. And that also became a big favorite between our beaders. And I'm happy to see that many of you are getting friends with the Delicas too. Robin also figured out a way to attach hers. I'm happy for you, Robin. And to finish off this step, I finished adding all my Delicas that I needed, but then I continue just repeating this thread path until I am exiting the second Delica that I picked up in this step. So this is how it looks like. And my thread should be hanging towards this big gap with a fire polished round 11 and another fire polished. And let's see what's waiting for us in step 7. In step 7, we are framing the motif. So I will fill in the 4 gaps in 2 different ways. Always 2 gaps exactly opposite of each other will be identical. So now, into this first gap, I pick up 2 round 15s, a 4mm bicone bead, and 2 more round 15s. I bead through Delica, fire polished Delica, and when I pull my thread, then I can see that the group of 2 round 15s, 4mm bicone, and 2 more round 15s, they fill this distance between 2 Delicas exactly. So this is what we are going to add opposite of it. However, now on the side of the motif, we are adding simply a 6mm Miyuki Slender Bugle bead. And again, we bead through Delica, fire polished Delica. Now, again, 2 round 15s, 4mm bicone, and 2 more round 15s. And then I bead through Delica, fire polished, and Delica. And now that we are working with this beautiful Capri 2xAB Preciosa bead in the 4mm size, I just would like to mention that finally we have some super rare 3mm Preciosa bicone beads available in the 3mm size. Normally Preciosa does not make these, so we just could buy a limited batch from them. So there were originally 7 colors available, but I'm afraid 1 or 2 are already sold out, so don't hesitate. We have the Limesicle 2xAB, we have the Capri Blue 2xAB that is matching the ones that I am using and matching the beads in your box. We have Caribbean Sea 2xAB. We have Crystal 2xAB. And actually, if you place an order this week before next week's Coffee Time with Erica on Tuesday of at least €55, then we will add to your order a bag of these super shiny Crystal AB 2x3mm Preciosa beads as a gift. And we also have Violet AB, and Jet AB is somewhere missing on my table. I hope it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So all of them super sparkly and very limited. Like we have luckily a bigger batch now, but when they will be gone, then I don't know when we'll be able to get them again. And in the meanwhile, Dawn says, this is such a sweet little motif. I'm thinking it might be nice on a filigree. And I absolutely agree with you, Dawn. I can't actually remember an example of a motif which would not look great on a filigree. And I finished this step by beading all around the motif and also through the first two round 15ths that I have added. So my thread is now hanging in between the two round 15ths toward and the 4mm bicone. And let's see what's happening next. In the next step, you can attach a pendant or some kind of decorative element if you want to. And I will show you how do I do it. So I pick up 6 pieces of the round 15s in the same color that I was using already, and I bead through the bicone bead, however, in the opposite direction. You need to be careful not to cut your thread on the edge of the bicone. I have a good experience with Preciosas, but still, it's better to be safe than sorry. And then I finish step 8 by beading through the first 3 out of the 6 beads that I have added. So my thread is in the middle of this group of 6. And what I'm going to add, it is with this Bermuda blue spike. There are 2 different sizes and I am using the smaller one. To finish off the preparations for adding the spike, I pick up a Miyuki Delica. I bead through the second group of 3. So the Delica sits in between 3 and 3 round 15ths. Again, I bead backwards through the Preciosa bicone, and then I bead through the first group of 3 and the Delica itself. So when I pull my thread, what is important that the group of 3 is touching the 2 other round 15s that I picked up when I added the bicone. If they are not completely closed, if the gap is not completely closed, then what you can do is just repeat the thread pass around the motif and you are done, so you can pull everything nice and tight. And someone went shopping in the meanwhile. Oh, thank you so much, and wishing you lots of happy moments with your new things. And just a moment, putting on my second batch of pictures. And this depends on the type of the decorative element that you are using, that how do you attach it, because the whole, it can run from the front to back, but in some cases it's running from side to side. If you visit the Beading School blog, then you can actually find an article how to attach components to beadwork and some cheat sheets for both possibilities. So make sure to visit that if you are feeling insecure about attaching things, even clasps and earrings to your beadwork. It will make it super easy for you. So mine has a hole from front to back. So what I am doing, I actually first check how many beads I used in the previous one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for one side, I see, or let's try. Some beads might have slipped into the pendant. So this is the number of the beads. It might be that you need to adjust it depending on how thick your decorative element, the drop, is, and if the beads slide into the drop or not. I'm beading through the drop from front to back, And then I pick up 7 more beads of the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now I bead backwards through the Delica that I was exiting. And you can see that this decoration, the drop, is like hanging to one side for now. Of course, we will correct it in a little while. So to correct it, to pull it equally, the beads are sliding into this drop because it has a pretty big hole. And to adjust the drop, I repeat now the thread path. So I bead basically through everything again. But this time I'm getting back to my original direction, and that is how I bead through the Delica. So this is how it looks like at the moment. And what you can also do to make this a bit more elegant, that you repeat the thread pass through the seed beads and the drop. Actually 2 times, but this time without beading through the Delica. That is actually my little trick, to pull together the first and the last round 15, and then this part holding the pendant will look like a teardrop from the side, and it's a tiny difference, but it can make it a little bit more elegant. And let's take care of the details. So this is, and then I finalize it by beading through the Delica. So now, even if I have the whole of the pendant running from the front to the back, now it's nicely hanging instead of turning around. Let's see step 11. To make step 11, I actually need to bead up all the way to the opposite side, and I will show you how you can attach the second motif to the first one without having to start a new thread. I love beading and I love all kinds of beads, but there is one thing that I like to avoid, and I think I'm not alone in that. If I don't have to, then I don't like securing and adding new threads. So I like to come up with 2 ways of beading the same motif. One when you start from the middle, and then one more when you already have a motif ready and you want to continue beading motifs, but you don't want to add a new thread. In the meanwhile, I am repeating the thread pass all around my little motif, including this part where the drop is hanging. Also, I'm not beading through these beads anymore because I think that's enough, but I want to pull together everything nicely. So my motif is like really sturdy and elegant. This is how it looks like. And I am beading until I cross the combination of beads on top opposite of the pendant. That means the two 15s, size 15s, the bicone, and two more size 15 seed beads. So this is my starting position for the next step. And the next step, for the next step, we pick up. It is a bit tricky, but if you just follow the red line, which means the thread on the picture, from the little dot until the arrowhead, then it will become easy. It's just important to keep good thread tension. So I pick up a Delica, I pick up two fire polished beads in the 3mm size, I pick up one size 11 Miyuki, and I pick up 4 pieces for the middle of the 4 pieces of the 4mm fire polished beads for the middle of the square. And I bead through all the 4 fire polished beads again, nothing else, just the 4mm fire polished beads to pull them into a square. And yeah, that's it for now. So this is how it looks like. I know it's weird. Trust me, it's going to be okay. And hi, Katja. And now I'm actually beading the same as I was beading before, but I will use the beads that I have added here. So I want to add the size 11 Miyukis in between the 4mm fire polished ones, but I have here already a size 11 Miyuki. So I just go through that and I bead through the 4mm fire polished beads. That's the next. On the next 3 corners, I don't have round 11s, so there I need to add new ones. And since here it can be a little bit tricky to keep good thread tension, then I will repeat the whole thread path through this little square to make it sturdy. I finish after I bead it through. That's round 11 that was already there in the previous step. So this is how it looks like. Still weird, but it's going to be okay. And Sunshine is getting help from her husband to pick colors. So I'm super curious. Nancy has to go. Have a nice weekend, Nancy, and all the best to your husband. And John joined us in the meanwhile. And we continue with step 13. So now we are recreating the angles consisting of 3 pieces of 3mm fire polished beads. So I pick up 3 pieces of fire polished beads for the first angle from the smaller size, and I bead through the next round 11 just as before. Then I pick up one more time the same group and I bead through the next round 11. I have 2 angles ready. I pick up the third group of 3mm fire polished beads. I bead through the next round 11. And here I already have 2 fire polished beads, so I pick up only one and then I bead through these 2 and the size 11. And when I pull it, then it looks a little bit better, I hope. Don't, thank you. And this is actually something that you can totally learn. Just, yeah, I often have these tricks in my patterns for the sake of all beaders who don't like adding thread and the sake of myself. So I think if you do it a couple of times, you will get the logic. Basically, I always like try to get to the middle of the motif and then rebuild the motif again. Step 14, now we are adding the sparkle in the middle. So this is the same. I pick up 2 pieces of the round 15s, a rhinestone, and 2 more round 15s. I bead through the round 11 opposite of the one that I am exiting, and then I bead back through all the 5 new little elements, and I bead through the original round 11. So I have the rhinestone attached through one hole. Jennifer is here also, and Catherine likes the idea. I'm really happy about that, Catherine. Now I attach the second hole of the little rhinestone too. So I get in position for that by beading through a 4mm fire polished bead and a size 11 Miyuki. And just as before, I pick up 2 pieces of round 15s. I bead through the open hole of the rhinestone. Again, be careful so it turns with the sparkly side towards the top. Like, I know it seems so logical, but I think sometimes we can make so funny mistakes, like with this one, that one rhinestone is on the one side and the other rhinestone is on the other side. Who would think that someone is capable of that? But I was just focusing on something else. I thought it's like easy, and then I ended up laughing at myself. Facebook user friend says she loves this motif. I'm happy about that. By the way, ladies, this weekend we are having here in Europe daylight saving change time. So next week it will be a different time again. Many of you in the United States, you had already the daylight saving time change 2 weeks ago, if I remember well, and we are having it now. So please make sure to check the time twice before next week. No one has to be alone. By the way, Lutka solved the kind of issue I have with this in with some extra sparkle that she's putting rhinestones on both sides. More sparkle, even better. And now I am at the part when I am adding the Delica bead. So I have one Delica bead here that was already added. So there I need to be careful not to add an extra one, but use what I added when I started the joint. But then to the other places, I put new Delica beads just as before. And there should be altogether 8 Delica beads. 7 of them will be new in this case. Linda already had daylight saving time change yesterday. We always have it during the first weekend after the 21st of March. I did not expect it until until there was no one has to be alone and coffee time with Erica, then I did not know that it's in different times around the world. So I learned something new thanks to it. So here I am adding the... Did I mess it up again? No, it's okay. It's okay, it's just turning until I did not fix it properly. So I am adding the Delica beads all around. Faye says that in New Zealand she will have the daylight saving change this weekend, so she will be back to getting up at 3 a.m. Faye, I said this many times, but you're my hero and I admire you for your dedication to the community. I try to go to sleep at a reasonable time so I can get up early, but that means for me 6 or 7 a.m., not 3. When do you ladies like to go to sleep, and when do you get up? And do you have some evening or morning routines? Please tell me. In the meanwhile, I'm finishing this step just as before with the first motif that I bead until I am exiting the second Delica that I have added. So this is how it looks like. I pull apart the two motifs, so you see it better that here they are not connected yet, only on one side, and that's completely okay. In step 6, we are finally setting that right. So here on the side, I am adding a Miyuki Slender Bugle. By the way, if you want even more sparkle, then of course you can add bicone beads to the side too. Oh, John also says that in Canada they changed 2 weeks ago. After adding the bugle, I bead through the Delica fire polished Delica combination, and now instead of picking up the seed bead and bicone combination, I bead through the top beads of the first motif. So through the 2 size 15s, the 4mm bicone, and 2 more size 15s. And then I bead through the Delica fire polished bead Delica. Then again, I pick up a Slender bugle to fill in the gap on the side. Again, I bead through Delica fire polished Delica. In the meanwhile, I'm getting answers, and it's so nice to learn about you ladies. Samia says that the Canadian province where she lives, Saskatchewan, it doesn't do daylight saving. She says, we never change our time. Oh my god, Samia, that's so good for you. All this confusion, we should eliminate it. And Maria says, I have 2 little kids who don't know what sleeping in is, so I'm lucky to sleep in on my days off, but my body is used to work hour routine, so I wake up early anyway. I spend my weekend nights staying up way too late beading. I wanted to try that because I actually want to bead more, but then I start to make mistakes, I noticed. So I have to bead early in the morning or during the daylight. Otherwise, I will be just frustrated the next day when I notice the mistakes that I made. This one I made during the day, so there is no excuse. Antoinette says, I like to go to bed late and wake in early every day. Have a bunnies that need me. Oh, yeah, I saw the pictures last year you shared share them with us. Robin says, my husband and I are retired, so we get up around 6:30 and have coffee together. The club is at the perfect time for me. Oh, that's wonderful, Robin. And if you bring coffee to coffee time with Erica and to no one has to be drawn, then that's even better. Marta actually has the plan to skip bugles and use only bicones. Oh, I'm looking forward to see yours. Oops. Facebook user friend says that beading and my insomnia suit each other. And Luisa has a very good question. Erica, can the squarely aligned units also be connected in a diamond direction? Dear Luisa, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that would look wonderful. The bracelet would be, if you make a bracelet, or the earring would get more dynamic, in my opinion. Like if it's a straight line, then it's more like a static rhythm. But in this case, with diamond, like in a diamond way, diagonally, that would be a different effect, and one I would love to see. You could fill in 6mm Preciosa beads, the bicones, the big bicones in between, maybe. Oh, you are giving me ideas. I will not have enough time to bead something like that. Please, please, please bead the bracelet with the diagonally attached motifs. And Marta says that her pup gets confused when the time changes. Dinner time is not to be messed with. I can understand that. How do you explain it to a puppy? Ginny says, it took me years to not get up at 5:30 like when I worked. I finally sleep till 8 or 9. Now I feel guilty as my little dog waits by the door for me. Oh, I'm sure your dog loves you and she or he is patient when you need to sleep, or not, as dogs tend to be, right? And Jackie says, I'm a night owl, love beading when it's peace and quiet. And yeah, did I mess up again? Yeah. I actually could not sleep well last night. Catherine, thank you so much. I did not want a third bugle bead. I will pick it out. I did not sleep well last night, so my focus is not great today. And Sunshine says, I'm a night owl. It's when the house is quiet and I have time to myself. Lately I have been napping a lot and I'm a little behind with my to-do beading binder patterns. And Malia says, I plan to do a bracelet diagonally. I am looking forward to see that. Facebook user friend is asking if she can watch the video later. Absolutely. It stays online on YouTube, on Facebook, and since we are doing this now on YouTube too, so there is no waiting time for us manually uploading the YouTube video. It will be available right away. And Wanda joined us. And Cindy says, I get up early to around 6:30 a.m. because I have to take care of my 3 grandchildren. And soon we will be getting baby chickens so that we can be more self-sustainable in making our own food. Just got part of my garden started in the house till I can plant outside and add more vegetables. Good things for my grandchildren can help me with this summer. I am an early to bed person and early to rise as well. Oh, Cindy, the baby chicken. Must be so cute. My grandma also had them when we were little. And I always selected one which was then like my chicken. They're so cute. Joyce also says that the time changes drive her crazy. Jennifer says, I haven't had a regular schedule since December. In the evening, once I sit still, I often fall asleep. No set time though. I do get up no later than 7 a.m. as a carryover from taking care of my mother. Dear Jennifer, wishing you lots of strength in that. And please take also good care of yourself. Sarah also plans a bracelet. Felix too. Hi, Felix. Is that Teresa? I know the family name. Marta likes the diamonds with the 6mm bicones. Facebook user friend says that she can't leave the beads until she finishes the project. Linda goes to sleep late and wake up late. And Antoinette actually says that she found beading school through YouTube. And actually, ladies, I enjoy chatting together so much, but slowly I will need to go. However, tomorrow it's lunch break time at the Beading School Academy. So Veronka, my colleague and friend Veronka, with the amazing bezels, will be waiting for you 25th of March. The time is 7 p.m. Central European time. So please make sure to calculate it. And yeah, you can actually chat through Zoom and meet each other. So that will be, I think, an amazing experience. And thank you so much for joining me today and each other. I'm looking forward to see all your finished jewelry and wishing you a nice weekend. Bye bye, ladies.